Hi, this is the video for the moves in C shape, C, F, and G, and the song Making Believe. I'm going to start by going over the four-fingered C to F move, and then I'll go through the walks real slowly. Then I'll play the song all the way through. So with the four-fingered C, you're in this position. People who play the three-fingered C, you do your C's. And to get down to that 5, you have to walk. But here with the four-fingered C, pinky, ring finger, so they're all there. You got 6 strings for your C chord. The F chord is your C chord. Keep your index finger in place and move these 3 fingers over one set. In other words, your ring finger, it's on the E string right now. Move your ring finger over to the A string and move the other fingers over with it. So you've got a C and an F. If you play your F like this with 4 strings, you don't have to play this barred. You can just play And most of the time when you're playing out of C shape, that F chord is perfectly usable and will do everything that you need to do with an F chord. So this is much easier. It does mean that if you don't play the four-fingered C, it's a good time to start. So to begin the song, what I would do, I would vamp on the C chord. And do a C to C walk, a 1-to-1 walk. And that's accomplished by, move over so you can see better. You need to see my right hand too. I'm hitting the low E string, open A string on the 2nd fret, back to the C shape. So I'm not really leaving the C shape. I'm leaving my index finger in place. The other 3 fingers are moving, but staying basically in the same position. The advantage of all this is when you're beginning a song, you're showing the rhythm, the tempo you're going. This shows you're beginning the song. There's your beginning of the song. So the first move that you'll make after you do that C to C walk will be the C chord right up to the F chord. So the first walk will be with your boom chuck on the C chord, you're on the A string, E string, A string, right? Making believe. Now, what's underneath your 2nd finger? Your D string, open D string. Put the 2nd finger back down on the 2nd fret. And then you will move to your F chord on the D string. I'll do that again a few times. So you're on your C chord, walk up to C. Now, D string, D string, D string. Those moves are all on the same string. right hand here for a second. There we go. See how I'm keeping my index finger in place? And I'm just moving these 3 fingers over. Without the walk, for this boom chuck, it's starting on what's underneath my pinky. That's the 1, 5, 1, 5, right? For the F chord, the 1 is what's under the D string. The 5 is what's on the A string. Go back to the C chord. 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5. And how that works in the context of the song. Making believe up to F. That you still love me. Now go over that walk. It's a quick walk, boom chuck, walk, walk, boom chuck kind of thing, with no space in between. So chuck, walk, walk, boom chuck, walk, walk, boom chuck, walk. Let's just go over that a few times. Up to the F. Back down to the C. And again, this begins on the A string, the boom, chuck, and then immediately you're on the D string, open, 2nd fret, F chord, but you're beginning on the D string. Back down. Okay, I'm going to start from the beginning and go up to that point, and then I'll keep going down to the G. So begin at the very top, vamping. Walk up, C chord, up to the F, back down to the C. Boom, chuck, boom. Now here, this walk down to G begins on the pinky and the A string. 2nd fret, 2nd finger, A string, open, grab your G chord. And right back up, A string, open, 2nd fret, back to your C with your destination note under your pinky. And then destination note because we're thinking in terms of the melody. So from the very beginning, vamp, walk up to the C, leave up to the F, back down to C. Now we're going to go down to G, down to G, back up to C. That happens twice in the first verse. So I'll do it from the top. Believe up to F, that you still love me. It's down to G, leaving me. Up to C, alone and so blue. Here it comes again. Still I'll always dream. Up to F, down to C, I'll never own you. Making believe, back to C. What else through that one more time, and then I'll move on to the bridge. So, vamp, walk up to C, making believe, up to F, that you still love me. It's leaving me. Up to C, alone and so blue. Still I'll always dream. I'll never own you. Making believe is all I can do. Now we're going to go walk down to G. Can't hold you close. So you're on the C chord. And it'll be the note that's under your pinky. Can't hold you close. So this is the walk down to G. 3rd fret, 2nd fret, open, G. Open, 2nd fret, 3rd fret. I'm going to do that back and forth. 2nd fret, open, G. Open, 2nd fret, C. A few more times. 2nd fret, open, G. On the E string. Now on the A string, open, 2nd fret, C chord. One more time. 2nd fret, 4th fret, G chord. Open, 2nd fret, C. The melody, bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Now the melody on the guitar, bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum. So that makes the harmony part. Can't hold you close when you're not with me. You're somebody's love. You'll never be mine. Then it goes back to the moves at the beginning between C and F, as we did. So let's start at the very top and slowly go through the walks from C to F and down to G and back to C. Believe it or not, that's all we're doing. So vamp for a second, giving people the tempo. Walk up to C, making believe, up to F, that you still love me. It's leaving me. Up to C, alone and so blue. Still I'll always dream. I'll never own you. Walk down to G, making believe. Up to C is all I can do. Now C to G. Can't hold you close when you're not with me. You're somebody's love. You'll never be mine. Making believe, up to F, back to C. I'll spend my lifetime. Down to G, loving you and making believe. mentioned in class with the other chord shapes, these walks have a kind of an end to the phrase and a beginning to the phrase. In other words, making believe up to F that you still love me. That's the end. It's leaving me. And there's the beginning. In other words, you hit that note twice. Once for the end of the phrase, making believe. Bum, 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 bum. That's the end. Bum, bum. That's the beginning. Bum, 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 bum. You can do that any place you've got the phrasing going on. It's a nice thing to do it's not crucial to do it, but it's nice to do when you want to kind of emphasize the beginning of the walk-up. And using the booms as your indicators of where the beat is when you're playing with other people, if they're listening, which if you're a guitar player, you're probably not listening to where that beat is, but it's a good idea to listen to where that beat is. Because if somebody is giving you that beat, take it, line up with it. You're supposed to be on the same beat. Sorry, that's a little sidetrack, but that's something that I notice in the guitar class. So the idea is you got the bum, 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 bum. That's kind of the beat. That's the first phrase. The second phrase, bum, 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 bum. Bum, that's the end of the phrase. Here's the beginning of the next phrase. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Now I'm doing every possible phrase, making it as complicated as possible, just to show you how the phrasing can happen with the bass notes. You don't have to do it all the time. You don't have to do it at all, as long as you're playing the bass notes. But if you're doing the walks, it's nice to realize when you're ending a little walk phrase and when you're beginning one. Because the beginning, you can goose it a little bit. You can give it a little more energy and emphasis, and it propels the song forward. And it makes your bass walks kind of a lead part, in addition to being a harmony to what's being sung. It's a kind of a leading part. So again, you want to make sure that you remain on the beat. Often with these walks, when they get comfortable, they tend to begin to speed up. I know my fingers know where to go, and part of the psyche wants it to be over with as soon as possible. Don't do that. That's not the purpose of this. You want this to sound good and to retain the beat at the same time. So this whole song just repeats that form all the way through. And there was also a G7. Some of you know G7 in this kind of form, where you're playing this G, and you put this index finger down here on the high E string at the first fret. To get that 7. Working off of the 4-finger G, you get a very nice 7 note right here in the middle of that stack. It's the 3rd finger on the D string, so you just move it off the B string, back to the B string, to the D string. One more time, G, G7. Okay, now where where that goes. That you still love me. Where is it? How that fits together, you've got a G chord, a 7, and then open A string, 2nd fret, back to the C. I'll go through that a few times. G, G7, where you're hitting the D string, open A, 2nd fret, C chord. 2 more times. Down to G, 7, open A, 2nd fret, C chord. 1 more time. Down to G, 7, open 2nd fret, C. Now I'm going to show you another move out of that G7. Where you're walking from that 7 note on the D string under your ring finger. So the walk will be 3rd fret, 2nd fret on the same string, open, back to C. Do that a few times. So walk down to G, G7, 2 more times I'll do it. Down to G, 7, one more, G7, now the other way, G, G7, open A, 2nd fret, C. I'll alternate to G7, 7, walk down to C. Other way, G7, open A, 2nd fret. So I'm going to go through the song now, as promised, and add all these things. Okay, sometimes I will phrase the walks and begin and end them. Other times I won't. And because we talked about it with the E-shaped stuff, where you're damping the left hand, just lifting off slightly, not doing anything fancy with my right hand. I'll add a little bit of that stuff too. So, I'll start at the top. Making believe that you still love me. It's leaving me alone and so blue. Still I'll always dream I'll never own love. You'll never be mine. Making believe I'll spend my lifetime loving you and making believe I never lost you. Still my happy hour I find are so few. My plans for the future will never come true. Making believe, what else can I do? Can't hold you close when you're not with me. You're somebody's love. You'll never be mine. Making believe I'll spend my lifetime loving you and making believe loving you and making believe. I neglected to put any of those, so making believe I'll spend my lifetime loving you and making believe loving you and making believe. The damping stuff you just use occasionally, but you can. It's easy to use with these chords where you've got 4 or 6 strings pretty much covered. Just lifting off slightly and throwing the left hand across the strings. Is a nice way to do it. So this song has really very few moves. C up to F, down to C, down to G, right? And then back to C, and down to G, up to C. It's a good one. It's really repetitive, really boring, I know. But this is the way to get through to where this stuff really becomes second nature. And then, as we did in class, move the capo around. Take the capo, put it on the 5th fret, just to start out. Because you've already done the G stuff a lot. So, to do the same song in the key of C, from C from G shape to C shape, back down to G. A string, 2nd fret, C chord, 2nd fret, open, G. Then to get to the D, the 5, right, we go from G to D. First, 2nd fret, 3rd fret. These are the moves that we know from G. To get from G to D, it's G, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, back to G, and then on the bridge, can't hold you close, to G. When you're not with me, same thing again. You're somebody's love. You'll never be mine. Making believe up to C. I'll spend my lifetime loving you. That's a D7. And making believe. Not as delightful as the G7 shape for the same 5 chord, but it works. So moving the capo around to those different positions and using all the shapes that you now know will work out well. Okay, that's enough for today. Thanks.